Who is there with us?
Hi, this is Carla Varela. Hi.
Hi, Carla. And Petra.
Carla.
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
It's
So
Kay and
Hi.
Polly and Petra.
Yeah.
Yes, hi, how are you?
Wow. Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you. I am progressing as fast as I can because I don't have too much time, but I'm already at module 3. I haven't practiced with coaches on only module 1, but I have to do it again. But I do have a person that and from the outside that I practice with. So that's good. I'm practicing, so that's fantastic, and I think it's going well.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Carla, what we're looking for to check with people, and maybe you already know this, we've got a couple people who just started on module 1. They've been in the program, but life has happened, and so they're kind of starting over. Are you, if they need, a coach for back and forth, are you willing to even go back to module 2?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
I mean, I need to practice module 1, 2, and 3. I actually spoke with Jasmine, email here, and we're gonna start swapping sessions. But if there's anybody that would like to practice, for me, it's fantastic. I mean, even if I have done it already, I will be very happy to do it again.
Okay, perfect. May we put you on a list that we share with people, and we're going to share it with you too. Okay.
I'm going to show you what it looks like, and all of you guys will get this document.
She's on the phone, Polly. She can't see it.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on the phone, unfortunately. Yeah.
And I know that. It's just habit. And I'm so excited that I can use my new tech skill of sharing a document. I get so excited about
I love it.
I want to share all the time on my screen.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good.
But basically what it will be, it's going to be a Google Doc where we're going to put your name and email address, and then I'm going to send you the link, or Kay or Polly, and you can update your information there. If you're willing to, what module do you need to be coached on, what module do you need to coach, and if you're willing to help out with other modules as well, and where to contact you, etc. And so other people are going to sign up there as well, and then you can always access that document and see like who needs what, and if you're available to help out.
You know what, you guys,
Okay.
we could put it in like files or events, or we could put it in a special place on MeWe. I mean, we can still email it to everybody. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
But since it's Google and it's virtual, we can also do that.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't find MeWe very easy to follow, but I think if there are instructions, I can do it. I mean, I usually don't have any trouble doing it, so I just find it's a little bit difficult to find, but I have to be more there probably.
Yeah.
I just need to learn how to do it. Exactly.
Okay. Well, and we'll email it to you as well.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I think it's always very useful to swap sessions, and even if I have practiced them, that's perfect.
Yeah, good. So Carla, do you have any, I mean, you've been in this for a while, you're kind of a veteran, but do you have any questions? Do you have any concerns? Do you have anything for us? Do you have any
yes, well, yes, I do. Well, I'm celebrating, my celebration said that I am actually finally being able to do it. I had to clear up my schedule because I had a lot of work. And now, I mean, I'm still working, but I have some hours that I was able to clear out, and I'm doing it, and that's fantastic. And I'm swapping sessions with another person that she does some healing, and I do the coaching. So that's very nice. And, but I do have some questions, given that in particularly for this client that she's like a healer, and many times what happens to me is that I start with the coaching, following the script and everything, and sometimes it goes farther, or sometimes she says, oh no, this is clear and clear and clear. For example, I had that experience in module 2, that I did the first part, first money paradigm, and then we didn't really have time to go to the second part.
Right.
And so when I tried to do it with her, she said, oh no, everything is clear out, because she had the whole week, to work it out and do it. And we found that everything was cleared. So I just continued with whatever she was pressing her, and we did tapping, but not related exactly to money in that first session, but we still did it. So what is that? I mean, like, what would you do in these cases? Is that fine? Like what I did, like just, okay, so what is it that if there's something that you want to work on, that's what I did. Or what do you do? Or is it something that maybe I should press a little bit more to try to find if there's something hidden?
Right. So this downside of wealth, that's the one that she thought was clear that you didn't go through, right? So
yeah.
So maybe it was clear. Maybe that's true, but maybe it's not. So you could try to take her back into that space, to bring her into her body. Make sure she's in her body and feeling, and try to bring her back into that space and just let her sit with it, and just kind of talk around things for a few minutes and see if something comes up. I'm not saying there's something there. You don't have to buy trouble.
Exactly. But maybe there's something
but
more.
There's layers. So but one of you others may have an idea on that as well.
I do, because I think that we can't discount the upside either. So like, let's say somebody says, no, that really isn't an issue. The real issue that we're really trying to get to is, what is the response of your family? So maybe they don't believe it. Maybe they're not supportive. Maybe there is that, that threshold of staying within the tribe, right? And so that's why we can see these boom and bust cycles. But it's also important to draw out, what is it that they might say, even if it is positive, because it does go back to that relationship that you're going to have with your money, that downside. What is that expectation? So for somebody, the expectation could be, actually, we don't believe that that's enough. If you're coming from a family who is super powerful, super successful, we can't discount the other side of saying, oh, well, you're not doing enough. Or, yeah, that's your own business. You're an entrepreneur. But you know what? Because you're not a doctor, you're not a surgeon, you're not a politician, you're not a lawyer, that doesn't matter. So it's really important to really investigate bigger. It's really about, what are they saying? Not so much that they don't believe it, or that doesn't exist, or that they're supportive. We want to know what they're saying. What is that? So draw that out even more. Yep. Draw that out.
I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So try to find farther if there's, I understand the concept now. Thank you so much. So it's more, I understand. Okay.
Yeah. And so I would just add that Margaret, in the Tapping into Wealth transformation program, she really kind of at the beginning, she sets the tone of this session. And I love that part, because this is exactly like many clients tell me, I had some hypnotherapists and or what was this one, regress therapy, and they like, we've been through it, even in past lives or wherever, like, family plan that's covered. And so Margaret tackles that in the transformation program to really, how to set the tone for this session. And so depending on what kind of client you have, you can really say the way that Margaret did, you know what, I know that we've been, for example, you've been working on it, and we too, we have been working on it, and that's great, and I want to honor all the work that you've put into this. And this is one of the deepest, you know, paradigms and blocks that we have. So are you willing to look at it one more time? Are you willing to go deep? And even if, you know, some things resonate at the number 2 out of 10, are you willing to see what is in this number 2? What is still left there? You know, what can be uncovered? Let's be curious, you know, let's investigate. And maybe there is nothing there, and that's okay. But what if there is? You know, so are you willing to, are you open to do this? You know, so kind of like lead them into it, trick them into it. Because we know that usually, you know, because you look at them and at their income, and if they are not happy, so there is something there.
Okay.
And income is related to family paradigm very strongly. So, you know, kind of like you have to kind of like trust in the process that, you know, there is something there. Usually.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good idea. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, yes, I'd tell them directly, are you willing to go and explore further? Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, listen to this transformation module too. It's amazing. The setup, kind of like you can model it very easily, and it's cool.
Good. Okay, wonderful. So I don't know, do you have anything else that, I don't know?
We just want to make sure that we're supporting you to be on track for certification in whatever way possible. That's why we're kind of doing this, is we know that life tends to sometimes interfere with all of our best intentions or ideas or our action even of where we're going. And so we just really want to support your trajectory of moving at your pace, easily and consistently to getting, your certification, and what we can do to support that.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it very much. It's fantastic, because this is, at least this time, it's a time that I can call in and this discussion, I think, is very, very useful, and I appreciate it very much. And on the other calls, I always have to listen them afterwards, because I'm working at that time. So this is actually very, very useful. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
Thank you. So, and yeah, for sure, I'm sure more issues will come as I move along.
Yeah. And as we go along, more people will join us. So we'll do this on the off weeks that Margaret does her Q&As. So as more people join us, there'll be more questions that you can garner information from.
Exactly. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. I'm really excited.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it's happening, and it's finally here. That's good. Yeah.
So one of the other things that we will be putting out to the group more is the concept of masterminds. So as more people come on, and we may even post it in MeWe, is people coming together and doing masterminds. Because I have seen almost every mastermind group of people complete the program. It's the support and the accountability, and they all complete it. So
yeah, I think that is a fantastic idea.
Yeah. So we'll also be promoting and supporting that too.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to be part of a mastermind group. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Wonderful. Thank you. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much.
Okay. Yeah, Carla, I'll let you go if you don't have any more questions. We don't have anyone else on the line right now, but you're welcome to stay if you want to.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else is going to join. I don't know what time it is. I don't know, but yeah. Otherwise, for now, I can't think about any other question, and I do appreciate so much your time and all this effort. And yeah, I will just continue, and definitely I would love to be part of that list because I think it is very useful because sometimes it's difficult to find a partner worldwide. So that's good. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you to the three of you.
It was nice hearing you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm waving to her and she can't even see me.
Hi, Flora.
Hi, Flora.
I'm sure you're just coming on.
Hey, Flora.
With your mic and your...
Oh, she's muted.
Oh, is she? Okay. There we go. Let me... Flora, you can talk if you want to. Maybe you don't want to.
Hi, Flora. We just want to let you know that we are here, and if you are speaking, we cannot hear you.
Flora, it looks like your mic is unmuted. I think Kay unmuted you, or you may have, by mistake, muted yourself. Or you can type a question in the chat, and then we can answer it. I have a chat thread going on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
And you could post a question or comment or whatever there that you might like us to address, how we can support you. Oh, you guys, you know what's happening? Right now, there's an emergency alert testing all wireless emergency systems. And so if people are signing on with their phone or using your phone, we have no phone access for 30 minutes.
I have it.
The same
Flora,
but
Flora wrote us a message, just Godel, no mic. Okay, so you don't have mic, okay?
Okay.
And so, yeah, so you can type your question if you have any question, or if you need to write as a question, yeah, you can write a question and then we can answer it, or you can write some issues that you want some clarity on or support. And basically this call is exactly for that guidance and support. If you need around the material or certification or any trouble that you might have in the program.
Okay. I got an alert from somewhere.
So she says no questions right now, just want a student partner to work with. Okay, Flora. So yeah, so we created a Google Doc that we're gonna post on MeWe, but we're gonna also send an email to you. I'm just going to write your name down, and you can insert there info about where you are, which module do you need to be coached on, and which one do you want to coach, and if you're willing to help out other people with other modules, and so other people are going to sign there as well. And then you can kind of take a look at the document and contact the people who are currently active on MeWe, exchanging modules, willing to be coached and get coaching. So yeah, we're going to email that to you, and it is our hope and our vision that it will help you and all other coaches to find partners and exchange sessions and meet the requirements for certification and kind of like move you forward.
It's a document that will be constantly being updated live by all of your coaching partners. So it's really a shared Google Doc. And so all of you will have this ability to edit in here regularly, like what you need. But more importantly, you'll have emails to be able to reach out to people, because we do understand that on MeWe, You know, people may not always be checking, even though we encourage everyone to check at least every day. This way, you will have people who are still in program working their way through the certification to connect with them and what modules they need. And we want to make it so that even if you've completed a particular module and you're moving through the program, if someone behind you may need some help, it's a great way to increase your skill in a module that you've already learned, as well as if somebody is ahead of you, it's a great opportunity to be coached on what's coming. So it doesn't always have to line up with you and another person being on the exact same module. You just need to make sure that you get the recording for what you need for either in the, you know, for in the future. So for example, I know that was really confusing. If you're on module 2 and someone from module 7 wants to coach with you, you could receive module 7, hold on to that recording for when you need to post it in your accountability form.
Yeah, well, thank you. And she's asking, how do I get to it?
We haven't set it up yet. But this is what it will look like, and we will be bringing you, we will make sure that you get this form.
We'll email it.
We will email it to you, and it will be also posted on MeWe. But you get it in your email.
It'll come as a shared Google Doc. So don't be afraid to go ahead and click on it. It will look different in your email because it will come through like in it'll have its own sort of packaging, right? And you just click on the little bar. It'll say a shared Google Doc, and it allows you to get into this document for you to be able to edit. Right? It's not something that you have to necessarily download, because if you download it, you can't see the live changes that are being made. So it allows you to have it in the Google Cloud sort of drive area so that everyone can be updating it as they need. I hope that makes sense. Have you used Google Docs before?
Once. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and so if you by any chance you wouldn't be able to figure it out or something, you're gonna get an email. So write us back, you know, help me out with that. I need some help with that, and we're gonna get in contact and show you how to use it in case there is a problem.
Yeah.
And can you tell us on what the module are you on right now? What we're working on? Module 2. Okay, that's fantastic. So there are a couple of people that are exactly at the same module or around.
Yeah, I'm gonna look in.
And Flora, how is the pace for you? What is your, I know you've been talking with Kay a lot, and she's been working with you to sort of set up a new sort of, I always hate to use the word schedule, but what are you thinking? I'm trying to think of my a correct question. Maybe Kay can help me because she's been working with you very closely. Does this feel like a good space where you're in right now to start consistently moving forward? And what do you need from us? We're just kind of assuming you're typing us back. Yeah. Okay, so you'll be out of town for a few days in the middle of the month. Well, I think that you've got a really good kind of intention there of getting started. If you were to start sooner, what would be the one piece, where are you at if you're starting sooner that you would need to do before you go away in the middle of the month? Or did you already talk this out? Okay, did you guys already talk that out, or?
We didn't get into too many details. She just said that there were a few things that she needed to do first before she could get started. But you know, as we find people, I'm gonna, Flora, I'm gonna put words in your mouth. Actually, is what I'm gonna do. I'm guessing that as you get the document and people, that when you have time, you'll be starting to make arrangements. As best, that was my understanding from you, without trying to put out a commitment that you didn't really say. That was my understanding.
And just let us know how we can support you with your progress. You know, we're here. And we know that it has been a heavy couple of years.
Yeah.
So just know that you're not alone, and we have your back, and whatever we can do to make it manageable for you to get what you need most, let us know. I mean, I know you know that too.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, no, that's fine. I mean, even if you're just listening to the module, that's like percolating all the ideas and letting it soak in, even though you're might not be ready to give it. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know, you guys, do we want to speak to maybe some strategies, some things that people have done, you know, in breaking out sort of a rhythm of working through the material? Because, you know, we have quite a few different examples of what people have done. Flora, would that be helpful to sort of hear a little bit about some strategies? Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely. You could be the client before leaving town. And
Yeah.
that is a great way for you to receive it and have it modeled for you, right? So I think that's a really great idea.
Yeah, and another great idea is to access the Tapping into Wealth Transformation program and look for that module in that program, the module 2, Earliest Money Paradigm, Downside of Wealth. And this is kind of like Margaret guiding you through it, and you can get a feel of the session and even, you know, start to work on the issues and do some tapping even on your own and kind of like mentally prepare yourself for the coaching session as well as the client session. So that would kind of like give you a heads up and on what is coming, etc.
Yeah. So Polly, if you talk about those strategies,
Sure.
that might help the other people who see the replay of this.
Okay. So, just kind of getting into the rhythm and flow. If you're breaking out these sort of 8 sessions, each module, we have the three recordings that we need for certification: coach and be coached, and the person on the outside. So one of the first strategies that we were talking about earlier, not with you exactly right now, Flora, but in another conversation that we had, is that when you are coaching somebody on the outside, some questions came up about keeping the same person all the way through all the way through the program. This allows you as the coach to see how they're receiving the material, all of the blocks that are coming up for them, and you can begin to see their transformation as you go from one module to the next. So it's really nice to see how a person begins to change and shift and transform. So one of the strategies maybe for success is to keep the same person on the outside all the way through, if possible. Secondly, in doing the timing is, you can, some people will try to do, a module every 2 weeks, right, to try to sort of stay on track. But what that requires is that you're lining up people that you can swap with. And so if that seems too intense, then you might want to set yourself up for a module a month, right? And that allows you to listen to the recordings, integrate that into your nervous system, do some of your transformation like Petra was saying. So you go and you listen to the transformation side of that content. So let's say it's in module 2, earliest money paradigm. You listen to that, you integrate it into your nervous system, you're doing your personal transformation. And then in the next week, you go to the coaching part and you listen to Margaret giving that session as she would a client, right? And you're bringing that in, you're reviewing the transcript, you're taking a look at how you might deliver it. And then also within that week, you look at your calendar and you start setting up who you're going to coach, who's going to coach you, and your client, so that you can kind of space that out in the coming weeks, and that gives you your whole month. So just a quick recap. Week 1 is to review the transformation associated with that module. Week 2 is to learn the process, listen to the coaching audio that Margaret gives, look at the transcript. Week 3, you are coached. You could be coached and give it to a coach, and then in week 4 you're giving it to your client, right? And so that's how you would break it out into absorbing one module a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And I see that you gave it to her way back in January 2016, so what would be really interesting, if you have the time and patience to want to do this, is that was, almost over 2 years ago. So it'd be really interesting to see any shift there, if she's still in the exact same place. Did something change? Did something shift? So it might be interesting to review the skill of the money map process with her. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I'm not saying that you absolutely have to, but you may want to review that with her. It's up to you, or a different person too. What is your sense, Flora, on that? Okay.
Yeah, so if there was time and both
it would
people,
also strengthen your skill to revisit the money map again with her.
yeah. And this is going to be a new map with her.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Things have changed. Yeah. Yeah, that could be great.
And the one thing, not to overwhelm you, but when you chunk it out into a month, is to make sure you write up your case study. And I don't know if we've talked, if you know, we talked a lot about the case studies yet or not, but not to wait to write up your case study at the end. If you're going to take the same person all the way through, is write your case study at the end of that session so that it's fresh in your mind, right? So that you don't have to backtrack, listen to the audio 8 months from now when you're having to write those. Make sure you plug in your timeline of 1 month that you're writing up that case study. And the case study needs to be written up on your client on the outside, not with a tapping into wealth coach. So a couple people made that mistake, and then, you know, fast forward 8 months, they had to go back and rewrite that case study. I don't want that to happen for you. Oh, great. Oh, great. Okay. Oh, perfect. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. And I'm saying excellent about that you've done the other money maps with other people and you feel really comfortable. Excellent. Okay. All right. Good.
Okay.
Oh, you're very welcome, Flora. That's what we're here for. You know, that's why it's guidance and support. So, you know, absolutely. We just, you know, want to hold the space for your success, not only just in the transformation, but in the coaching and being able, after a couple years of some real heartache, to you know, find your rhythm again and find your place, and get moving in the direction of where you want to go, and you know, embracing your passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for showing up here and, you know, doing this the hard way, since you have to write, you don't have microphone. So
Right. Yeah.
kudos for that. Like, your patience here writing this all up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's just so heart-wrenching. A lot, you know, a lot to, yeah, it really does suck.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very painful.
And so with that being kind of like said and articulated, once you start exchanging sessions and really be active part of the community, and maybe even part of a mastermind, that we would like to support you guys to create and have each other as well. So you can definitely ask for some sessions, the people that you're going to exchange those sessions, to give you some extra, you know, tapping and helping you clear some of the stress and kind of like support you more in that.
Yeah, I think just sharing a little bit about my experience moving through the program is there were some people that I really, you know, kind of connected with, like, for example, on this list, and we really helped each other to be accountable, to keep moving forward. And we would have some, tapping sessions around our frustration or our overwhelm, because certainly, as you do go through this work, especially through the transformation, your own stuff comes forward. And it's really nice that when you have your group of coaches to support you, even in, like, if it's in this little mastermind that we're proposing for, people to kind of maybe initiate, step up, create one, it makes a huge difference when on those particular weeks, that particular month, something really rocks your boat. You have your group of coaches that you're working with through this program, that you're supporting each other in other ways. It's not just the SWAT coaching, but you're really holding the space for each other to achieve something, right? To work all the way through these processes and get certified and be able to turn that into something for your passion. So I know that was a strategy that came out when I went through the Tapping into Wealth coaching program. I had about 6 or 7 coaches, and we kept each other on track, and we all sort of ended up certifying within 6 weeks of each other. And so we really either would push, be that, it's okay, I'm giving you permission to take a brief rest this week, but we're going to get right back on it. And I want to see what you're doing. Did you write that case study? Get that case study written, whatever it is. So that support is so important. You never want to do this alone.
Yeah, amen to that. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah, okay. Ready to get back into my life again. Most of the time, so appreciate being allowed to resume the training. Oh, absolutely. I intend to finish. My own beliefs derailed me when I began the training originally. I want to change that. Oh, wow, Flora, that is just huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And we're here. Please know that you're not doing this alone. We're here, and also, with that connect. We can't say it enough. We repeat it over and over, but the connections with the other coaches is so crucial, and that's why we've created that Google Doc, because we really want you guys to make those connections, to have the support. It's really what makes this so successful.
It is. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, great.
Okay. So do you think we're good for today? And then we'll meet up here again in 2 weeks. So next week, Fiona is giving the Q&A for Margaret. And then we'll be back here and answer any questions, get more people together. Maybe we'll email some people and have them come on.
Okay. Oh, we'd love to see you too.
Yeah, that would be awesome
Okay.
to hear you and speak with you. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely looking forward to that. So yeah, we're going to invite probably by email as well, but it will be posted on MeWe the event, just like this one was posted.
Yeah.
Thank you for hopping on, Flora.
Thank you, Flora.
And letting us, get to know you even more. And even though you had the hard job of having to type, I think that we communicated pretty well.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah.
Okay.
Talk to you next time.
I guess it's a wrap up.
Take care.
All right. Bye, Flora.
Bye-bye.
I always want to wave.
We were just wrapping up. We had a couple people, and so I'm glad you're here.
Thanks. Sorry I'm late.
Not a problem. Do you have any questions? Do you have any celebrations? What do you have for us today?
Well, the celebrations are when I meet with a coach to go over something, it goes really well, and it goes really better than I can expect, and I'm really happy. But then in between, it's very, very hard for me to control all the mind chatter that just doesn't want to stop. And I do a lot of meditation and just different things, and I try to control it, but it's exhausting. It's like I'm trying to figure out what's the upside of doing this, what's the downside, what's really going on, why am I conflicted? Because if I'm not conflicted, this should be no problem. It should be easy. So, yeah. The family paradigm may be part of it. I just realized how deeply entrenched a whole lifetime is.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that most coaches, when I open up and really tell them what's going on, they get triggered.
Mm-hmm.
And one told me, she said, it's not you, it's me. And I knew that it's not my fault I had the life I had. So I know how to give a session to somebody else and really try to go there for them because I know what I need.
Yeah.
So it's been a struggle. It really has been. And I wish it wasn't. I'd like it to dance through the day every day. And I think celebration is key.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coaches brought to my attention when she heard some of the things I've been doing, she's like, Carrie, I've worked with people for decades, not been able to have some of the breakthroughs you've had. And I just accept them, and it's like, what's next? So maybe, so just so many things to work on.
Okay, so the statement you just made, Carrie, the breakthroughs that I've made,
Mm-hmm.
I just accept them
Mm-hmm.
and move on what's next.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
So tell me about the breakthroughs that I've had, and I can accept them. And now tell me, how would you like to celebrate them before you move on?
Well, I try to dance through the house and, put my arms in the air. And when I'm really happy, that's easy to do.
How does it feel? How do you
feel?
Good. Yeah?
Yeah, feels really good. I mean, and it could be that I'm processing so much that I need to let my up. Like, I don't know, 5 a.m, and I immediately began to tap because I knew a huge revelation just came through. That it wasn't safe to want anything that it will be taken away. And I was able to go to some really deep places of things I have lost, and really intense. So maybe my body just needs time to process these things that keep coming up and I address, and maybe I'm just pushing it.
Yeah.
So I have 2 appointments Monday, one with another coach. I'm going to take her through the money map.
Okay.
And then another coach, module 2.
Okay.
I tried to receive a session last week and she got triggered and just had to stop, but she's reevaluated and wants to meet again. But this time I felt it's best that I do the session. And then next week, I'll let her give me a session.
Okay.
If she thinks she wants to.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got a document that we're working on, Carrie, with I don't know, Petra, maybe it's 10 or 15 names of people who are starting out, and also people who are willing to work on these early modules, but also people who want to take coaches through some of the later modules. So we're going to email that document to all of the people on the list. Okay. And it might be that, I don't know, it might be that you'll be able to find some people there that won't be triggered by your life events, that will be able to just coach as you do, and that you'll feel comfortable.
Right.
So,
yeah, intention of Jasmine Go, I've been giving her a lot of sessions, and when we get to her, she's going to start giving me some.
Okay.
And I love her happiness and joy.
Yeah.
And she's so appreciative, and I had mentioned to her I was considering that maybe Margaret was right, and that this is too much, and I really should, need like that year coaching, which I can't afford. So I'm like, what do I do? I'm like between that rock and a hard place.
Right.
And I have the evidence that many can't. Somebody gave me a backlash session, and I gave them honest feedback, and they've been in a backlash ever since.
Oh.
But she's getting through it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I could see it. So I don't know. I don't want to discourage anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
It was my hope that if I could truly bring transformation to her, that even if my issues never really get resolved, if I could show up for sessions, that might help me to see somebody that's doesn't have as many deep issues. If I could see somebody get really good results, that might help my confidence.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
So.
Well, maybe this will be a way to start if we can get more people to choose from. And there is getting to know them, and it's a type of interview. Everybody can't coach each other. We have.
Well, technically, the only reason that is because they still have issues they need to work through. And so if they acknowledge what they are, and they can get coaching, because there's something in their nervous system that isn't wanting to go there, which means they haven't finished their work. That is, am I wrong?
No, that's right. And it takes time, and you have to, inside you have to realize some of this stuff. And sometimes it takes time to realize that.
Right.
And so in the meantime, you work with people who you feel comfortable with while you're doing the work. And then you can work with some of those other type of people that maybe triggered you before. So
I'm making a lot of progress just doing my own stuff. I mean, I am doing deep work every day. I am going there. I have been going through the 7 levels and really digging into the bowels of not having needs or wants or all those things. And as my body, it is bringing things up, and I handle it. Lots of tears, lots of really good work. And so I just made time. I'm glad I have as much time as I need. And I may have to just honor that I can't go as fast maybe as other people, because I'm really going deep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for the real transformation. And when I work with somebody, I am attempting to give them something tangible where they really walk away with something that's changed their life. And that's what I've been doing with Jasmine. And we've had some good results, So, that makes me happy.
Yeah.
But good. I do need to celebrate more. I mean, I live with somebody that's with Asperger's. They don't have emotion. They don't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard.
No emotional support, nobody. And so it's been really hard for me, because when I moved here, I told him I need love. And he can't give it. He just can't.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
the other side is just us two. And so that is a challenge.
Right. So do you have ways of walking towards what you need? Are there other people to develop with? Do you have other ways of feeling good celebrations?
I mean, I go to church, and last night I went and sang and really put everything into that, and I'll do things like that on my own just to get emotion out.
Yeah, nice.
People are so bogged down with their own life and their own problems, and they've got real struggles.
Yeah.
And so, you go home and they have their family, and I come back here. So,
yeah.
Trying to be realistic.
Well, and that's good. And at the same time, moving through it being safe to want, right? That's a process too that opens.
I tapped this morning, what is blocking my heart from allowing their love to fully come in?
Well, do you want it?
Yeah, it's coming up more and more how I really crave connection. And at point it still feels like it's one-sided, but I realize that's my interpretation. It has to be.
Right.
Somehow I must still be blocking the full allowing their affection to come through, and they're sensing it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Right. So what if that's true and you're, intellectually, all this stuff, right? But do you remember Fiona and a couple of things? One, her stance,
yes.
Okay.
Yep. Amen.
And even just putting out that question, I wonder what it would be like to receive their love. I don't know. I just wonder.
Yeah.
And then the other one that she does several, but one of the other ones that she does is she writes that story in the future. So as an example, you and I and Petra are talking right now about, the things that you want and developing relationships with people and receiving that love. And there's a block, and, that's what you're noticing, and that's what the intellect is saying. If you were to write a paragraph or two that said, oh my gosh, dear Kay, you're never going to believe this. After we finished the call, I went out and, so writing those future stories of what the way you want it to be in that present tense. Right. Those are all just exercises. They're just tools to add to what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, I've done that before, but that's been a couple years since I've done one of those.
Do it again.
Okay.
Do it again.
All right. Yeah, and I'm practicing where you just meditate on something and then you hear different things, and that's teaching me that the mind can hold many things at once.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the energy barrier and the trauma and the toxic money, I've been using that to almost tell my brain, just stop it. Just go away. I don't want to hear that. And because the brain can hear many things, and I'm trying a lot of things, and that seems to be helping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then tapping on overwhelm. There's so much, and then you eat an elephant one bite at a time.
That's right. That's right. And so one of the things that you're doing that I'm going to encourage and support is focusing on what you do want.
Right.
Focusing on the way you do want to do it. These other things are going to happen. Your head is going to be full of that stuff. And as you push it away, it's going to hold firmer. And I know you know that.
Yeah.
So as you focus and feel into what you want, just let that other stuff be.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be
the coach I worked with Monday. It was a short session, and she did that for me. She caught me. She's like, "Hey, no, don't go backwards."
right.
I just told her something positive that somebody noticed in me, and then of course they say, because you used to be like this, and then I let that discourage me. And she said, no, stay right now. Look, this is where you are. This is what they noticed.
Right.
Don't go back there with them. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize I did it. And so that is a habit that I'm trying to catch, but I don't always catch it in time. But I'm trying to be aware.
When you do catch it, give yourself a pat on the back. Okay?
Okay.
When you do catch it, you don't have to dance if you don't want to. Just celebrate that moment. Oh my gosh, I caught it. That's the focus. When you don't catch it, let it go.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't catch it. But when you do catch it, notice that.
Right.
Let that go through your system.
Right.
I know you know how to do all these things. I'm just going to keep holding you to them.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I am making progress. I can feel with my sessions, it just flows, and I'm doing a lot right, and it feels good, and I'm not surprised after it. It's like I just know this is the way it's supposed to be, which is good. It's just the in between, boy. So I'm going to keep trying to work on the positive.
Okay. Yes, keep focusing on that, okay?
Uh-huh.
But when you only stay on the positive and you don't acknowledge the negative, right? There's a difference between acknowledging and focusing. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So
the focus on the positive, even though I acknowledge the negative, the floating by.
Yes, because that is honoring yourself. And as you honor yourself, you build trust. And as you build trust, you can focus more on what you want. Not necessarily the positive. Maybe it is positive. But it's what you want. That's the energy that allows you to increase that vibration.
Okay.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. There you go.
Yeah. And I'm not ignoring this conversation, but I had trouble with connectivity. So I was hearing really like it was interrupted, and I'm thinking like I'm hardly catching anything what you're talking about. But this one I caught. And so, yeah, I totally love that, because it reminds me of a quote, where your focus goes, energy flows.
Right.
And that's really, it has been very, it's like, past and everything, and then let's focus on what we want rather than what was. So I totally love that, Kay. I love that, Kay, what you said.
Yeah, good.
About acknowledging versus focusing. And Carrie, I just really want to, congratulate you for, coming back and doing this, because it is a big step and a shift from where you've been. And, you're a fighter, and you are one hell of a coach. And I experienced that myself, and, just fingers crossed and kudos for what you're doing. And I have the vision of you to make through the program, to make it and to really get empowered.
Thank you very much, Petra. I appreciate that. Sometimes I'm realizing that I actually may have some greatness, not in a prideful way, but that I can see that I have some skills, and that what I've been through enables me to hold a space for many, many people because of all the things I have worked through. And I can just relate things most I work through, and everybody's like, oh my God, this is so much, this is so much. And I'm like, wow, I guess it is. But that can actually help me be a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And, you know, this is the new meaning. You are now to past events. Very powerful if you can just write it down, you know, the old meaning that you used to give and write to it, you know, decide what it means. And it can mean exactly what you just said, you know, I'm a better coach for it, you know, that's what it means. Right. Because it gives me this huge compassion and this big heart that I have, and it gives me the strength and the resiliency, and this is what it means.
Right.
Because it's true.
Right.
Right, because right now, at this moment, when you just focus at this moment right now, so right now you are in a beautiful place. If there is no past, if there is no future, right now.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it means.
Right. Yes, and loving even these parts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I am less tired the more I am honoring and listening to my body. I've lost 18 pounds in just over a month because of one of the shifts I had. I finally am listening to my body. I'm hearing it. It's asked me to please take care of it and to stop eating things it doesn't like, even if it's a healthy food.
Uh-huh.
And I've been honoring that, and I've made that change, and it's not hard. And I'm doing other things, but it's a new practice for me, and it's just taking time. Just so many things I'm doing at once.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So, Carrie, we are going to make every attempt to be here every other week. So Margaret, you know, has her Q&A calls. And
right.
What I have found today, because we've worked with 2 different groups and several people, is I know that we've talked about this before, and I know that this is hard, and you do have to take it slow, and you do have to honor and trust your body. But I just encourage you to come be here as often as you can. And we haven't had quite this kind of community in this program before. And I can just see some little bits and pieces that will allow all of us to grow and get connected. And so when I hear you think about, well, maybe this is too much and maybe I need to back out of this, I'm just going to keep coming and holding space for you to find a way to stay with us. I just think we have so much we want to hold and give you, and you have so much to give the world and to share with us, that if there's any healthful way, healthful for you, but healthful way that you can stay with us, I just see your light growing and shining.
Well, thank you. Yeah, a lot of it's just my perception, but you don't know you have a blind spot because it's all you have until somebody just gives you a little, oh, and then I go with that. Yeah. I don't know. As soon as I decided to come back, I started posting in MeWe. I started trying to do the things we're told to do, but I don't see that many doing it. So then I back off, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe it's too much. Maybe I share too much.
Right.
And just kind of back up. And then I realized after last week's coaching, I said to her, I feel like I'm too much. And she says, well, you are too much. However, people that aren't too much aren't very interesting. Hell, you know what? I need to take a step back and decide what I want to do. And so she showed me what somebody looks like that's setting a boundary. She had to figure out if she wanted to keep talking to me.
Yep.
She didn't want to finish the money map. And I sent her an email. I said, you know, you asked me about savings, and I told you. You asked me the emotion. I told you. You asked me where I felt it. I told you. You asked me what the trauma was that you've had. I told you. And you said, okay, we can't go forward. This is too heavy. You know, and I'm like, I didn't do anything wrong. I answered your questions. And she assured me, no, it wasn't you. And I worked through it. So I am going to work with you again, you know, but I'll give her the session. I think I need to see where she's coming from.
Yeah.
What's going on. But I have to then emotionally handle that and stabilize after these events. And I've had these events throughout my life. And I'm just now starting to realize that maybe it's not all my problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that I'm not weird or odd. I don't know.
Yeah, you're working to be you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I agree. Sometimes I'm too intense or I'm too something, and it's like, well, I know, sweetheart, but that's who you are. So if you want to adapt it, you can adapt, but you still have to be who you are. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to attack. You don't have to hurt people, but you do have to be who you are. So.
Right. And there is going to be people that will be attracted to that.
Yeah. So anyway.
Y'all want me to stay, so there's something.
I want you to stay, Carrie. So just keep talking to us, because we all have good days. I don't mean good days. We all have hard days and days that aren't quite so hard. And I really want to build a community here where we can better reach out to people on those hard days, because we just want everybody. We just want them. We want to connect.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome. I'm sorry I was late.
No apologies necessary. This is perfect.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie.
Okay. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Carrie.